8th grade me and hit with his, I don't know, nasally voice again. Actually, you know what? No, I'm perfectly fine with never seeing any of those videos ever again.
Guidance is internal. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about this actually, guys. Because we've only got 14 units of fuel left, and we're a little bit flying blind. And I don't know, did I get a temperature scan from space high over the moon? I think I might have not, which is, you know, but, I mean, we can check, which is the great thing about this game. We're gonna take data. Yeah. You know? And no, we didn't, so see guys, that's why you check. Because it never hurts to be sure, and oh man, we can see Jewel out there. That's gonna be, I don't know, like, episode 30-ish, maybe? Who knows? But yeah, let's just... Okay, I appear to not be on an orbit anymore. My little capsule has developed its own warp drive. What am I... Oh no, because it doesn't show your orbit, the whole thing, when it's like this. Okay. Alright, so that's perfect. We can just get up to apoapsis and burn down to probably about a little under 40,000, so that, you know, we're not coming in screaming fast, because if you, on these high orbits, like, it really pays off to... Okay, I'm not out of electricity, am I? What's going on? Oh, I'm still fast forwarding. Sorry, the FPS counter is right over the time warp, so, you know, makes it a little difficult. Let's just burn her down. And, alright, so let's go for a straight 40,000. Alright. Yeah. And now all there is to do is just warp down. Not too fast. Because if we go too fast, then, oh... then we might just warp right through the atmosphere, get caught by the moon again, and get slung into interplanetary space, which, you know, I imagine has happened to most of us more times than we would like to admit. You know, at least it's not like the old days where you could actually warp straight through a planet, though. Oh, what am I saying? This is KSP, of course that could happen. Yeah, I always wonder, like, you know, with, like, speaking of, you know, time warp and all that, like, in Star Trek and Star Wars and all that, like, have they ever considered just, like, you know, flying a ship at warp speed into, like, something? Because, you know, I mean, in Star Trek, like, 40 Federation starships got killed by the Borg at Wolf 359. Like, I mean, phasers didn't do anything against it because they could just adapt to them, but I imagine that, you know, one of those crappy little Akiras, you just, you know, set the computer to autopilot it into the Borg ship at warp 8. I mean, you can't adapt to that. No, sir. And 14 stored data. And these heat shields are, in my opinion, super OP, and I'm okay with that. Because, like, yeah, this one heat shield, like, I could have gone steeper than this and been alright. Like, honestly, we might actually have gone a little bit too shallow, because, oh, and our service module is blowing up back there. Just look at me. Ooh. Fiery. I like it. Yeah, but let's not stay on that, because, I don't know, sometimes when the vessel you're controlling blows up, the game engine just does not like that. As I've been learning with, you know, I'm thinking about doing, like, a series with, what's it, like, doing, like, you know, sort of like a war in KSP, but not using BD armory or anything, just having ships, like, lob SRBs at each other like they're heavy missiles. I think it could be fun. You know, get a little bit of scripted action. I always think that, you know, there are more games that could benefit from the machinima genre, which is, you know, at this point, I mean, pretty limited to whatever game is a fad on YouTube at the time. Like, you know, back in, like, you know, 2007 to 2010, it was RuneScape, then it was Minecraft, then, I don't even know, like, yeah, I haven't watched any machinimas in a while, like, I mean, with MOBAs, like, you know, League of Legends and all that, you really can't do a machinima. And it looks like we're going to skip right through the atmospheres, so, you know, I'm just going to cut right until we're going through their next, and also we can time warp through this. Really should have been doing that at first. But yeah, actually, funny story, I used to make RuneScape Let's Plays, you know. I was in the 8th grade, oh man, and I wasn't even good at the game, which is, you know, not to say that I'm terribly good at KSP either, but, you know, I was sub-average at RuneScape, and, I mean, I had my dragon scimitar, my scimitar as it's properly pronounced, my, you know, my, that obsidian shield thing, full rune, go in the wilderness, get killed. I made like 10 videos, and because I was embarrassed about them, I deleted them all, and the channel that it was associated with. Actually, I deleted the channel because I made it with a Yahoo email account like an idiot, and I really, like, that would have, you know, pretty much neutered me if I wanted to expand that channel. But yeah, now it's, you know, 4 years later, and doing something else now. But yeah, I don't know, I wish I hadn't deleted it, because, I mean, there's a certain nostalgia for the crappy videos you used to make. I mean, I still make crappy videos now, I mean, you're watching one, but you know. Just to hear 8th grade me and hit with his, I don't know, nasally voice again. Actually, you know what, no, I'm perfectly fine with never seeing any of those videos ever again. I don't know, like, I don't know, I used to think that, like, I had a good voice, like, back then, and I still do now, but I listened to a recording of myself, like, a voice memo that I'd made, back in the day, like, you know, I was just going through my phone, and I found one from 2013, I think, like, I mean, I remember that, I even remember making it, but I didn't remember my voice being so nasally and awful. No wonder nobody liked me. Yeah, and Jesus, this is going to be 3 passes through the atmosphere just to slow down? I mean, you know, safety first, I wouldn't want to die on this, but I almost think that I, you know, really should have gone deeper. Like, yeah, I think next time, guys, we're going to shoot for, you know, probably sub 35,000 meters. Because as it stands, 40,000 just isn't enough to slow you down from, you know, translunar speeds. Yeah. You know, and also, speaking of high-speed stuff and, like, you know, going way out there in space, they always say that, like, you know, everyone knows that, like, ion engines are, like, crazy, super insane efficient and can, like, you know, be, you know, super light but also get a lot of, you know, delta V. But they always say that, you know, if we used one for a Mars mission, it would make the mission super long, just because of how low acceleration they have. But I'm wondering, like, you know, in KSP, like, a hour-long burn is atrocious. Like, you're not going to play through that. But, yeah, it looks like this is going to be our last pass through the atmosphere. Yeah, definitely. But, like, in real life, there would be no problem with doing a day-long burn. Like, and it would be, you know, at the end, the same amount of acceleration that, you know, a 10-minute burn with a less powerful rocket, with a more powerful rocket engine. I don't know. Like, if someone could explain to me in the comments why that is, because, I mean, yeah. I've never really found an answer for that online. Yeah, though, what I do know is that, you know, I kind of wish NASA, like, would publish, you know, a news site, you know, the normal news site with, like, you know, all the space news and stuff, but also have a section for, like, you know, people who have played KSP, so have, you know, just a little bit of knowledge of orbital mechanics. Like, I'm not saying I'm any kind of expert. Like, you know, like, you know, I use Kerbal Engineer because I am not good enough at math to do the calculations for, you know, delta V, that thing, that the, whatever it's called, the equation, dang it, I know, it's like, is it Korolev? No, he was the one who, I think, dang, I don't know, it's like Tchaikovsky, no, he was like a composer, though, I know, there are too many Russian intellectuals who who have very similar sounding multi-syllable names. Yeah, see, that's why when we built our rockets, we just picked the Nazi with a one-syllable last name to build our stuff. Or two, von Braun. But, you know, that's not important. Yeah, now we're coming in for our final pass into the atmosphere. You know, I got plenty of electric charge, so in case things go wrong, we can use the spacecraft as a lifting body. And heat shield is going sub 100, which is concerning me a bit, but you know, at the speed we're going, I think we're pretty much fine. You know, especially considering, you know, we've got it on time warp. If we're doing this for real, like without the time warp, then yeah. Alright, we've gone sub 1,000 meters per second. You know, let's stop time warping, so in case things go wrong, I have enough time to react. Let's just turn that on so I can see if I can get a little bit of, I don't know. I can't really tell which way would get me more lift. But alright, it's parachute time. And we have just about finished our first moon mission. And that's exciting. You know, we're just gonna go right through that, because I don't give a fuck. Though in all seriousness, kids, if you have a rocket that's more than 3 parts, don't time warp through stuff, especially in atmosphere. It's a bad idea. Or go to the highest, or go to the highest time warp that you can with your space station. It'll be fun. And alright, let's see what kind of science we got here. Alright. And that is 318 science. Alright. And yeah, I think that's going to be all for this episode. I'll see you guys in a bit.